Hey everybody, it's Chief Meteorologist Brad Peters. Quick update on our rainy day today that we actually can give it a name now. It's called Bertha, which is kind of weird because it doesn't change the forecast at all. If anything, I'm seeing a little bit of a hint we might get lucky in the western part of our viewing area with the rain. Let me show you what's going on. A lot of hubbub this morning about this tropical low getting a name. It literally needed 1 mile per hour prior to landfall to get a name, and it did. And that 1 mile per hour doesn't change the weather, the impact, anything at all. Just means it got a name. It is a very small, fast-moving little system. It's already made landfall literally 30 minutes before after it got named. So just a crazy system, and it's moving north real quickly. So here's a look at the track. By 8 p.m., it's going to be just east of Charlotte, somewhere in here, and by early tomorrow morning up here in Virginia. Again, there's not much wind associated with it. It's just a big rainmaker. So you can see the rain moving inland. The circulation was very small, so it was able to tighten up just enough prior to landfall to get a name and then move into parts of South Carolina. Now, as this moves to the north, we're going to see it dump some very heavy rain. So for that reason, I'm going to stop this and show you the flash flood outlook for today because it's going to be this area in yellow, which is the medium threat for flash flooding. This is also the exact area where we have a flash flood watch out currently. And I'm going to show you that flash flood watch is out through early tomorrow morning. Let me pop that up real quickly here. We'll put on all the watches, but we've got a flash flood watch up currently for areas around Charlotte and to the east. And that area is going to see maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain. So as it moves off to the east of us, we'll see the heaviest rain move through. So let's take a look at some of the guidance as I wait for for basically the flood watch to load up. I'll show you. There it goes. Took a second. So you can see the flood watch in effect for Charlotte and points east. So all this area pretty much along the track. So I-77 seems to be a pretty good cutoff, and then just to the east. So this is where we're expecting that 1 to 3 inches of flooding possible with the system moving in. So let me show you the forecast track as it's pushing off towards the east. So let's look at the futurecast. Obviously, this little low has made landfall. It's moving to the north. It's going to dissipate pretty quickly, probably become a tropical depression within the next hour or so. Move to the north. You see the heavy rain. By afternoon, I expect widespread heavy rain to be over areas east of I-77. Back to the west, a little bit lighter amounts. And because of this track over in here, it looks like areas west will see less rainfall. Now, as it drifts to the north, or drifts, I should say, it's actually moving pretty quickly. Heavy rain band could set up over the Charlotte area 3 to 4, 5 o'clock. By 6 o'clock tonight, obviously, we've got a NASCAR race going on in Concord. So what are the chances we actually get it in? Well, it's probably not going to start on time. It's going to be delayed. And 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, it starts to move north. So as far as timing, the worst weather for most of the North Carolina, at least, is going to be after lunchtime today. And really into the evening hours. And then it starts to move north by 8, 9, 10, 11, midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. We start to see it drift to the north up into Virginia, and we get into the dry slot. So we actually could see things kind of dry out by the time we get into Thursday morning. The problem is once this moves north, a tropical air mass moves in behind it, and we're still going to have a lot of pop-up showers and thunderstorms on Thursday and Friday afternoon. Let's look at some of the totals we could see from this system. So let's look quick at the rainfall amounts we could see go through this area. When you start looking at some of these totals, anywhere in this purple area, you're looking at like 1 to 3 inches. So you're looking at a swath here of about 1 to 3 inches of rain, probably closer to about a ½ an inch or less back here. Right around an inch is right here, and this is about 3 inches. So you could see the tight gradient of who's going to see heavy rain and who's not. In fact, I could show you a couple other products here real quickly to kind of show you the amount that we're going to see. So here's another quick perspective. You can see that 1 to 3 inch amounts. Most areas about 1 to 2 to 3 inches, but look at the gradient of I-77. I mean, you go west of I-77, you drop off to a quarter to a ½ an inch. 1 inch starts about here, 1.5, 2, 3 right in there. So pretty tight gradient. Now, the one thing we'll have to watch for is see how much rain ahead of this system and then behind it moves in. This is pretty much how much I would expect to see over the next 24 hours. That's why there's a flash flood watch. Ground is saturated. Won't take a whole lot to cause some additional flooding in those areas. Now, as far as wind is concerned, there's not a lot of wind with this to begin with. All the wind is off the coast down near Charleston. Even down there, it was only 40, 45 miles an hour. As it gets over land and it weakens, there's not going to be a whole lot of wind. Now, east of the center, it is true that there could be some stronger, cells back to the east that would produce the possibility of a quick spin up, but that would be in eastern North Carolina out in this area. So I don't anticipate any severe weather us because of the tracks east of us. This would be the area I would watch for a spin up in these bands coming in off the coast. Because we're over here and even along the center, there's likely not going to be enough heating or instability to produce any issues with severe weather. And the wind overall is just pretty light with the system so far. I haven't seen a whole lot. Let me look at the wind gusts so far with this thing. I haven't seen a whole lot showing up. You see most of the gusts have been in, there's a 45. That's the highest gust I can find down there. But inland, you see most of the gusts are between 10 and 20 miles per hour. And I would expect more of that as we go into the afternoon. If we see any trees come down, it's not going to be because of the wind. It's going to be saturated soil again, causing things to loosen up. So this is really a big rainmaker that's heading our way. And again, looks like it's going to be with us for all afternoon and into the evening. Of course, I'll be on the air posting updates throughout the day and into the evenings as we have another soggy Wednesday. Good news going ahead to the weekend. Drier weather is ahead once we get beyond this rainy pattern.